You're feeling it, aren't you? The cost of just about everything seems higher these days. Food, heat, electric bills, clothes. Then you stop at the gas station and ooh, get ready to pay.
Yeah, gas prices, they just keep going up, right? Today, the national average for a gallon of gas hit its highest since November.
So what's behind it? Let's dig into it. Check out the latest GasBuddy data. Right now, the average price is $3.55 a gallon. That is a jump of 11 cents just in the last week. While it seems high, the prices are actually pretty normal for this time of year and still about 20 cents less than a year ago.
The gas prices spring up in the spring. They tend to taper off in the second half of the summer. They fall in the fall. They're low in the winter. So as soon as we start to get past refinery maintenance season, I would expect that they should start inching down whenever we peak as late as mid-June.
So it's really just that time of year when gas costs more. But another part of the higher prices is OPEC's surprise announcement they were cutting production. That means the supply of oil is tighter, which can also lead to higher prices.
Even with oil prices that had been down, OPEC had been basically maintaining the previously agreed to production cuts. But now for them to go beyond that was not expected. OPEC suddenly coming out and without any sort of hints at all cutting production was surprising. When you zoom out and look at the entirety of prices going up the last several months, I would say that seasonal factors are a bigger role. But more recently here in the last week and maybe into another week or two, OPEC is certainly having probably about an equal impact on prices. But OPEC's impact will fade. The seasonality is likely going to be the bigger culprit if you're comparing prices compared to the start of the year to now. I would say a lot of it is seasonal in nature.
All right, so gas prices are higher. We want to find ways to save. AAA experts say the key to using less gas is being careful of how fast you press down that gas pedal.
We call them jackrabbit starts. If you take off real fast from the stoplight and then brake real hard at the next stoplight, the gas is going right out the exhaust pipe. So, gentle takeoffs, using that cruise control when it's not rainy outside or you're in a position where you can be safe using that. All of those things can really help you conserve the miles per gallon. And that's what we all really, really want to do.
And that's just the beginning. WFMY News 2's Megan Malaris verifies other ways to save at the pump.
Janice Sumner posted these tips from, quote, the experts. Number 4 claims, remember, every 5 miles above 55 miles per hour decreases your fuel efficiency. Is that true? The answer is yes. Our sources are Consumer Reports and GasBuddy head petroleum analyst Patrick De Haan.
That's absolutely true. And that's where your vehicle is working harder to overcome drag, that is wind. Right, it's every 5 miles an hour you go up above beyond that, you're losing a lot more efficiency, and that's why 55 to 60 is really the sweet spot. Your car's not having to work as hard against the wind, but your RPMs generally you're in a high gear at that speed, so you're generally in a perfect spot there, and you can really do much better. You can get 400 miles out of a tank.
Consumer Reports also tested the claim and measured gas mileage at a steady 55 miles per hour, 65 miles per hour, and 75 miles per hour in both a standard car and compact SUV. It found reducing speed from 65 to 55 improved fuel economy by 6 miles per gallon in the car and 8 miles per gallon in the SUV.
You don't have to go 70. You don't have to go what the speed limit says, right? There's minimums posted, but 55 to 60 is the sweet spot for most vehicles.
And be mindful of what your car is carrying to your summer road trip. Consumer Reports found at highway speeds, more than 50% of engine power goes to overcoming aerodynamic drag. Adding weight to that, even from an empty roof rack, slows down your fuel economy. In conclusion, yes, the gas hack claim is true. Going faster than 55 miles per hour reduces your fuel efficiency. You'll save money if you slow down. Yet slowing down doesn't necessarily mean taking the slowest route. De Haan said you'll get better fuel efficiency if you take the highway at 55 than starting and stopping on roads with stoplights. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Lawmakers are also looking at ways to lower gas prices. California recently signed a new law aimed at stopping oil companies from price gouging. The law is the first of its kind in the nation. The idea was first introduced in the wake of skyrocketing gas prices last fall. The state found California drivers were paying prices about $2.50 a gallon above the national average. Now, at the same time, oil companies were reporting record profits.
Of course, if you had an electric vehicle, you would not have to worry about gas at all. Currently, only about 1% of drivers have a plug-in ride. But the White House and the EPA have a plan to try and change that. It's a massive jolt for electric vehicles. The EPA's proposed tailpipe pollution standards are so strict, they would effectively force automakers to ditch most gas-powered cars and trucks and put the pedal to the metal on EVs.
Today's actions will accelerate our ongoing transition to a clean vehicles future.
Right now, fully electric vehicles make up just 7% of new car sales. The Biden administration is trying to supercharge that to more than half by 2030 and 2/3 by 2032. Major U.S. automakers are rapidly ramping up production of EVs, but there are concerns about the supply of raw materials for the batteries and whether the nation's power grid can handle charging demands.
And that's ultimately going to determine whether we can reach these levels.
John Bolza represents the auto industry.
There's no question automakers know how to make electric vehicles. It's going to require a complete transformation of the automotive industrial base if we're going to be truly successful here.
Getting Americans to go electric is key to the Biden administration's climate goals. In the U.S., transportation is the largest contributor to planet-warming carbon emissions. But while 41% of Americans say they are very or somewhat likely to buy an EV, 47% say they're not, mostly because of the cost and lack of charging stations.
Remember, you can always track the lowest gas prices near you on our website.
Just click the Gas Prices tab under the Weather section. We'll be right back.